guys, thanks for stopping back by my channel. I'm Yana Glow, and in this video I'm going to be showing how I meal prep 4 vegan dinners. So during the week, I don't always have time to make a different meal that is fulfilling enough for dinner every night. So this video is going to show how I take one base meal and using similar ingredients, I switch it up so that I can stretch it for 4 meals, and I make sure that I have different flavors and different tastes so that I don't get bored and I don't end up wasting money by buying something when I have food at the house. So my base meal for this video is going to be chili, and then using that chili I'm going to show how I make lasagna rolls, enchiladas, and minestrone soup. They were all very tasty, very fulfilling, so much so that I had even more meals planned to make out of this chili, but I ate that food so fast that, not so fast, but I ate so much of it that there was really no point of trying to make any extra meals. Like, this was really enough to get me through the week and then some. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe so that you know when I'm posting new videos. Turn on the post notifications. If you want to see me cook more often, I do regularly make vegan and plant-based food on my Instagram stories. I always save them up on my highlight. Are y'all serious? Yes. I like to start by adding a healthy amount of vegan butter and fresh minced garlic, and then I add in some red onions. Next, I add in some chili powder, ground cumin, and paprika, and then I let those flavors simmer for a little bit. I follow that with some fresh red pepper and jalapenos. I love to season these, so it's going to add just a little bit of a kick to the chili. I stir that up and I let that simmer again. I'm adding in some chili powder, ground cumin, paprika, and onion powder. As you guys will see, I like to add in my seasonings in layers. So all throughout this dish, you're going to see me adding in different layers, whatever I thought it needed at the moment. Next, I add in zucchini, yellow squash, and carrots. I like to keep the cut of these vegetables pretty thick. I try to stir these pretty well just to make sure that I'm getting the flavors from the bottom of the pot evenly distributed. Next, I'm adding in some vegetable seasoning and some oregano. Again, I'm stirring, just trying to make sure the flavors are all throughout the pot. Here is some fresh tomato that's just been ran through my food processor. While that's cooking, I have 2 batches of vegetables in my oven that I'm roasting so that I can make sauces for other dishes. So I leave these in for about 20 minutes before I stir them, and then I put them back in for another 30 minutes to make them nice and soft. Here I am adding some light and dark canned kidney beans. And again, every time I add something, I'm just stirring it as best as I can. It gets difficult because, as you guys can see, my pot is kind of full, but everything cooks down nicely. I also add in a can of tomato paste and then some tomato sauce. I used about half of this container. I also add in some water. Here it's about 3 cups. I don't know why I'm giving you guys measurements because I really didn't measure anything else, but whatever. I top that off with some fresh cilantro. And then another round of seasonings. I bring this to a low boil for about 10 minutes, and then I let it simmer for about 40 minutes so all the vegetables get soft. Next up, I'm making a sauce, so I start off with some raw soaked cashews, and then some cilantro, fresh avocado, some lime juice, and then some garlic powder. I I blend this with some water, and then I come back and I add some green onions and some fresh garlic. I blend this again, and then it's just a nice sour cream alternative to top the chili with. So after it simmers for about 40 minutes, the chili is done, and this looks so good and tastes even better, guys. I like to top it with the avocado cashew cream and some green onions. Next up, I start with a base of chili in the pot, and then I add in some homemade vegetable stock and some pre-cooked pasta noodles. I season this with oregano, basil, and thyme, and I just let this simmer for, it doesn't even take that long, maybe 5-10 minutes, because everything in here has already been pre-cooked. And that's that for this soup, guys. It's really hearty enough for dinner, very filling. Honestly, I should have made a bigger batch because it was very tasty. Moving on to the enchiladas, I start with red onions and minced garlic in a pan. I add in some olive oil, and then little by little I add in some regular white all-purpose flour. Is it white flour or all-purpose? Whatever, it's flour. Regular flour. I like to add it in little by little, stirring in between just to make sure that I don't get any clumps or lumps. Next, I'm adding in oregano, ground cumin, garlic powder, and chili powder. I blended one of the tomato medleys from the oven in my Ninja and then poured it straight in. Again, I'm stirring very well just to make sure that it's well mixed. This was kind of thick, so I decided to thin it out with some regular tomato sauce along with a little bit of water. This only cooked for about 10 minutes and then it was finished, and this was a really rich, tasty sauce, guys. Next, I heat up some corn tortillas in a skillet, and then I'm filling them with black beans that I made the exact same way I made the black beans in my very first meal prep video. In the second bowl, I have chili that I just blended in my Ninja Bullet. So the chili and the beans are serving as the enchilada filling here. I just fold these up and I place them into a baking dish. Once I fill the dish with enchiladas, or rolls, or I don't know if they're enchiladas yet, I top them with the sauce that we just made in the skillet, and I spread it all around. This only goes in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes because everything is really already cooked here, so no need to spend a long time making this dish. I like to top it with the avocado cashew cream, a cheese sauce that I haven't quite perfected yet, and then some green onions. Next, I'm adding the second tomato medley blend into the skillet, and then I'm adding in some regular tomato sauce and some basil. I season this with oregano and thyme. I also add in a healthy amount of nutritional yeast to give it that nice cheesy flavor because this sauce is for our lasagna rolls. Next, I'm starting again with some soaked cashews, which I add a little bit more water to, and then some garlic powder, some regular white vinegar, and I blend that up until it's nice and thick. I also add in some steamed spinach. This is like a whole bag of spinach, guys. You know how many leaves you're left with afterwards. No, some steamed spinach, and then I mix this all up to give us our kind of vegan ricotta, I guess. So I'm spreading this vegan ricotta with spinach on some cooked lasagna noodles. I think these are like the whole wheat noodles, that's why they look so brown. But hey, why not sneak in some whole wheat when I don't even know if whole wheat's good for you. That's a good question. It looks like the healthy kind, so that's the kind that I bought. I spread that out nice, and then again I have some chili that I blended and it is serving as a filling. I feel like when I blend it, it gives it more of a meatier texture. So that's why in this dish and in the enchiladas, I chose to blend it instead of leaving the chili, those thick pieces of vegetables whole. So afterwards, I just roll these bad boys up and place them in the same baking dish that I placed the enchiladas in, because this is like night number 4, 5, I don't know. I'm topping that with the lasagna sauce or tomato sauce that we just made. I don't know if lasagna sauce is a thing, so tomato sauce. I don't know a lot of things, that's apparent, but I know that these lasagna rolls were bomb. I don't even think they lasted a whole day in my fridge. They were really quick too, because after I spread this sauce on, they just went in the oven for about 5 minutes and it was done. They were so good. I didn't even take video the first day. Like, this is like the last lasagna roll that was left. And that's it for this video, you guys. Those 4 meals really got me through the whole week. They were so good. Like, all of the flavors were different in each one. I didn't feel like I was just eating the same thing over and over, which is really important when you're meal prepping, because once you get bored, you start wasting money buying food when there's food at the house. Like, to me, this is the greatest method to make sure that I'm still here. And like, sometimes I do like to cook, well, not sometimes, I always like to cook throughout the week. So making like the sauces and some of the different, well, yeah, I think it was mostly sauces in this video earlier, like all in one day, it makes the process easier throughout the week, where I can just take the prepared things I have, throw them together, toss them in the oven, and then I have a whole new meal. So let me know if you try this method and if it works out for you. Thumbs up this video, leave a comment, let's be friends, you guys. We have to like follow each other and be connected. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram so that you can keep up. Like, I'm always trying some new recipes. A lot of times I'm cooking just a spur of the moment, and it's way easier to just shoot it right there on my phone. So that's the best way, if you like my food, to keep up with it. Thanks for watching. Turn the post notifications on so you know when I post a new video, and enjoy the rest of your day, or your vegan or your plant-based journey if you're on one. Bye guys.